Take the mini plug, put it in there. Then we take, it's just another mini plug that goes into this here. And this here is a cord you can get on Walmart. They got good deals on it. It's a J&D, and it's a mini plug here. And then on the other end, see, it's a mini plug stereo on this end. All this is stereo up to this point. Then it turns into, man, this is a tight jack here. I can't even get it out. But anyway, it's a 1/4 inch going into the back of the amp here, where it's an amp, power amp in. You can also play it. You can plug it into the front of the amp also. I mean, that works out. You actually have more adjustability that way. But then you can just control, if you plug it into the power amp in, or on some amps it would be called effects in, and you just control the volume here. And that, all this stuff on the front of this amp, if I plug it into the back, it does nothing. So this goes straight to the power amp in this amp. And you just, adjust all the parameters you want for this, and have it just come out there. And then these speakers are disengaged. But that guy, Riff Guy, and others have done is go in and put in an speaker out. They put in a jack in the back and they run it off the board, and then you just run it to any cabinet using the 40. This basically, they call it Spark 40, but it's 20 watts stereo, so it's 20 watts per channel. This amp down here is 40 watt one channel. It's a lot louder than that baby's going to be. Well, that'll blow you out of the room, but this will blow you out of a couple rooms. I picked that up for $99 in way back when, in a store in Christiansburg, Virginia. Some little music store. It was used, and it had reverb, but the reverb unit didn't work, but all the rest does. Pots are a little scratchy, but forget about the pots if you're doing this. It's just a power amp. If I take this same rig and set up and plug it in my like a larger amp, like a what's it called? A Hartkey bass amp. I have a bass head 3500. It's like, I think, 375 watts. You can just tear down the neighborhood with that. But it's kind of overkill. But it sounds really good. That amp is a good guitar amp besides just a bass amp. It's got 2 preamps in it. And I don't have it handy here right now, but it's down in the basement. A little bit messy here, but it's going to get straightened up. Guitar maniac stuff, This is something I'm working on. This is I bought this Squire, and I had the 3 single coil pickups, but I bought a different pick guard, and I bought this pickup down here used. I think I paid maybe 30 bucks for it. It's a bridge pickup out of the Ibanez Artcore AS73, which is a guitar I have, and that's why I decided I wanted that, because I like that pickup. It's all hooked up, except I'm missing the screws, so I put a bunch of duct tape on it just to test it out. And sounds pretty good. This is a great little guitar here. I got it like, they knocked off a price of the usual, but I can't remember what I got it for, but I think it was under $200. Man, it's got really nice, interesting wood on the fingerboard. You can tell. You can get some more light on it. And it's got binding, whereas most of the guitars they sell of that particular brand and model do not have that. They just have wood, you know, there instead. And I really like this bridge. It's got a lot of sustain. It's kind of what they call ashtray style, but not. It doesn't have any pieces coming up on the sides here to irritate your hand. And this is like really thick metal. The baby sings. But I had a little wreck with it and busted off one of the knobs. I put something else in it. It's not even wired up. So I just got a volume control going on it now. Otherwise it works. Sweet. These are great if you want a mod. Instead of buying a body or the neck and putting it all together, they make fine guitars. It's really good wood in these things. Great paint jobs. And they play great. I mean, you know, you may after you get them, after a while, you might have to do a little filing along the edge here because, you know, the wood may shrink a little bit because it's not roasted necks. But I got my eyes on a telly that's solid body, and it has, you know, standard pickup here, but here they have like a humbucker in the neck, and they call it the fat telly. And there's some good reviews on that online. It's a really good sounding guitar. This one is too. There's this. That's the one you wanted to get your hands on. Something weird about the nut though, and I have a set of files, but I just cannot find them. You know, moving is crazy, and but yeah, it's binding up a bit there. I just need to file the slots out just a little bit. But, that's the roasted neck on this. Plays great. It's just tuning is a little bit of a problem still. And that's a stock pickup, but I put that T Marzio Chopper T in there. See, this is kind of ashtray, the old standard ashtray type of deal, which I don't like as much as the one I just showed you before. And, you know, on some guitars I would change that out and put one of those. You can buy those from rondomusic.com. Those other ones, they're kick-ass. But I see some other companies selling them out there on eBay. Oh well. Also back here we got the Roland Street Cube. They're 50 water. I've plugged in both of these running out of the Spark 40, but also this amp here does real well. It has a line out and it's got a lot of built-in effects. It's basically a little modeling amp, but and it's 2-channel basically, so you got straight tube. It's got tubes, and so you can just play straight tubes. You push a little white button in, and then that engages this one that has all the different voicings, 16 of them, and it's pretty kick-ass. Got a 10-inch speaker in it, which it does kind of flubs out a little bit when you crank it way up. So what I like to do is sit that on top of this PV amp and run the slave out, or the effects out of that into the power amp in on this. Basically the same thing here, but you can use quarter-inch jack all the way, and it's kick-ass. All right, and with that setup, with this amp and that amp, the speakers are not cut off in the fender, so you get like a nice high pitch out of that 10-inch, and then this Celestion G12 speaker and this PV baby, you know, gets the mids and bottoms real well when you crank it up. Don't flub out. Okay, but what's even better is some other extension speakers I got, but I won't talk about that right now. Okay, I hope that explains it. Probably way too much. Bye.